Hey everybody, it's Mergo, and today, after all the Lucid Nightmare hype, I hope many of you are out there getting your mounts and stuff, enjoying all the fun. It was great, but a lot of people want to know how each step was solved, so I'm going to make this semi-quick video just explaining in depth the process that ended up finally getting the result for each step, how each step led to each place, etc. So, for the very first clue, and I should be popping up an image on your screen, it says it begins in the 2104059. With a most pleasing sign, these letters will not always rhyme. But if you go with it begins in the 2104059, somebody eventually found that if you rearrange these numbers, you could rearrange these numbers to get a lot of things, but you can rearrange them to make 4-15-2009. So this is April 15th, 2009. And that was the release date of Secrets of Ulduar. So if you remember, after this step you go to Ulduar and you click the lever, and then there you go, you've started that puzzle, which is this scheme right here, you'll see. And by completing this puzzle, it turns out to be, the dev said it was a gear, and many people asked, why is a gear a pleasing sign? Well, we didn't find the gear. I'm not I think when Shaman found it, he was just trying to make some kind of cross, and he ended up like I forget what kind of cross he said specifically, but he ended up just accidentally making a gear, and it worked. So the gear was a pleasing sign, explained by the devs, because Memeron invented XT. So XT is created by Memeron, and what would be pleasing to Memeron? Well, a gear would be pleasing to Memeron, since he builds things with gears. So that's why it's the pleasing sign is in XT's room. And that's why. For the next clue, it says 1,000 years imprisoned. Surely it wears on the mind. This is the Shifting Wars fight was 1,000 years ago, before the doors opened, I believe. So this one was solved very quickly. AQ40 was a meme, and people always joked, and immediately after it was found, Celestalon posted on Twitter saying, "Don't let your memes be dreams." And that was the joke, because AQ40 actually was involved in the puzzle. And yes, this was because Cthulhu had been locked away for 1,000 years because of the Shifting Wars imprisonment, essentially. So that's why it led to IQ40. It only took like 30 minutes to find this clue. And then, of course, the Bejeweled game itself, it could go really fast, or it could go really slow. The Bejeweled game, if you get 5 brains in a row, it's an instant win. But if you're not lucky enough for that to happen, you could play for quite some time. I never got 5 brains in a row when I beat it. It took me like 25 minutes. I did get 5 in a row of multiple things, but I never instantly won because of it. So I just had to get whatever amount of points is the winning amount. It's invisible. But then after that, you get this clue. Deeper than deep awaits your seat. This clue leads you to Deep Home. So Deep Home is deep already, and then you go into a fissure in Deep Home, which puts you below Deep Home even. That's where the deeper than deep part comes into play. And then awaits your seat. There's a seat right in Deep Home with a skull on it. So, the Chair of Despair, namely so, this was wild. This was the longest step of any of the steps. Okay? And I think it's funny that at the end of it, this was the longest step, because in reality, it ended up being one of the, I don't know, I would say one of the easier solutions. It ends up being an anagram, because if you read the dingy plaque, right, the dingy plaque says, "Supremacy, get shirk EKE. EKE became probably the biggest meme for the long time because they were trying to make so many words with EKE, and oh my gosh, I loved it on the stream. This became a praise ek kind of thing. It was very funny because EKE, people were trying to make words out of it. They said, look at all the dots around EKE. They said timekeeper, gatekeeper, sunkeeper. Wait, this one took like 42 or 44 hours to solve. And then when it comes down to it, it's very simple, right? All this is an anagram. It's an anagram. So if you take all the letters, right, and rearrange them, you get Wraxum Greep is the key. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Who's Wraxum Greep? Well, Wraxum Greep is an NPC in Ratchet. He's a little goblin. Again, we get there. We're trying to do everything to this guy. I think somebody killed him a few times. They were thinking you maybe drop something, but yeah, Wraxum Greep is the key. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Searching everything around him. And then somebody's like, hey, I like those clothes. Give me a few of those. So boom, Wraxum Greep is actually the key because you have to wear the mask that good old Wraxum Greep is wearing. But Shadowweave mask, what? What are you talking about? This is an unobtainable item. Why would Blizzard do this? Just kidding. They decided to add the pattern back and now drops off some Dark Iron Dwarves in Searing Gorge. So a pattern that was once unobtainable, you make the Shadowweave mask, bam, you're now able to interact with the skull sitting on the chair, and there you go. Crazy stuff. That one took so long. Just a simple anagram. Can't believe it. Next, when you read the scroll that appears from the good old Chair of Despair, it says, where the Shaded Delegate may appear. Shaded Delegate, this was found very quickly, honestly, and it's because a Shaded Delegate, the Dark Iron Ambassador in Nomergon, he's a rare spawn. You know, he may appear. It says where he may appear. So, in Nomergon, there's a rare spawn named Dark Iron Ambassador. Fits up perfectly. Makes a lot of sense. Definitely got found quite quick. So, that was a good one. Now, this puzzle, I'm surprised this didn't take longer than Chair, because at the end of the day, this puzzle is absolutely wild. I can't believe it. Okay? This puzzle is a list of binary, so you're going to see it. It's 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. I'm not going to read all that, obviously, but when you look at this binary, okay, it translates to 3 pet battle abilities: Falling Murloc, Mighty Charge, and I-Beam, which deal 684 damage, 560, and 1110 respectively. Right? You mush all these numbers together. The 180 then says flip these numbers backwards. So you get the numbers 011 or 0111 065 486. Then the plus 1111111 is pretty explanatory. You just add 1 to each number, which comes to your final result of 12221 Just wild. Like, I'm not sure how they got to the Falling Murloc, Mighty Charge, and I-Beam, because one person just, it's like, I got the answer, slams it up. I don't know how this came about. This one is the one that I can't, it's crazy. Very wild. But it was solved. And then that's it. And then the next clue is games and toys are left behind when you awaken screaming. I don't know how there's an explanation for this, because to be honest, I think somebody just happened to be in Valshara and stumbled upon it. It's in a little hut in Valshara. I don't know how games and toys are left behind when you awaken screaming. I don't know how that translates to Valshara. Don't know how this one was found. Nobody really explains how this one was found. I don't think we had an explanation. We just happened to find it, and then boom. So, This was a lucky stumble, I guess, because when I read that, games and toys are left behind when you awaken screaming. My head. This is what I thought. I thought it was going to be the chess event in Karazhan, because you play chess. Medivh was asleep for a very long time. He was tormented when he woke up. I thought chess. Wasn't chess. Valshara, some little hut. Okay. And then finally, what you seek is buried within. This was the last puzzle. So, Kunlai Summit has a lot of stuff. There's a bunch of things, caves and hidden secrets and things. There's actually a Tomb of Secrets. Right? The Tomb of Secrets ended up being where it was located. So it was buried within the Tomb of Secrets. You eat the ashes. You play the puzzle, which is you have to collect orbs. The braziers light up, so you have to collect the lit braziers. You have to take the lit brazier to the rune of its respective color and stomp the rune out. And this was it. This is what you had to do. Some people got lucky and their map was very simple, and others, they had to deal with wild maps that had absurd directions. Mine took 3 hours. Some people took 15 minutes. It was RNG how your map spawned. You might have got a good map, you might have got a bad map. But, wonderful stuff. Once you finally get out of the endless halls, you win. And, that's it. That was really the last step. You get the final clue, which is the way is now open to the greatest secret never told. A fitting end to your journey. And what this means is the Karazhan crypts were always closed. They've been closed for as long as WoW's pretty much released them. You could glitch into them, you could bug into them. I've got a video where I show how you get inside of them. But it's saying the way is now open because for the longest time, you just couldn't get in there. And the secret never told relies to the fact that WoW never used this place. It was never, released. You could only get in there through bugging and people found ways in, but that's it. It was never actually opened. So now, once you complete this puzzle, you can be in. Okay? And that's it. That's the story of the Lucid Nightmare, I hope this explanation was a little more thorough, because I know in my other video I kind of just showed how you do the steps. I know people wanted it to be semi-fast, but that's how each step was inherently found and how the result came to be. Hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all again real soon. Bye-bye.